Hello to all. The sermon that I'm about to read to you is taken from www.joyofsatan.org, which is written by High Priestess Maxine. I own nothing. Important information about Serpent Yoga. I have read many different books on yoga, meditation and kundalini. Much of this knowledge was preserved in the Far East, as we know. The true origins of Satanism are in the Far East, not in the Middle East, or in Mesopotamia. Thought it is evident our gods were at one time in this area. The 7 towers of Satan are both an allegory for the chakras and also are physical markers across the territory spanning from the Far East to the Middle East, marking the track of physical migration from east to west. The point of the sermon is through Satan. We can make much more and unheard of rapid progress in our meditations and in raising our serpent. Most yoga texts and related meditation texts will relate that through hard work, consistent meditation over an hour a day minimum, and advanced hatha yoga practice, a non-Satanist just might be able to raise their serpent after a period of 22 years. Most of these involve secluding oneself in what is known as an ashram, denying normal sex, suppressing orgasm, adherence to a strict vegan, no meat, no dairy, no eggs or any animal products, diet, and all sorts of other restrictions. Through Satan, some of our people have raised their serpent in a very short period of time. The enemy equals restrictions. It is no wonder many Satanists who are intense practitioners of yoga and meditation, who are without, go through all kinds of problems, frightening experiences, and a strict anti-life program that in truth is designed by the enemy to discourage and block any true spiritual progress. In ancient times, before Christianity reared its ugly head, a requirement to become a legitimate priest was a risen serpent. My entire point of this post is to remind everyone, in order to raise your serpent, you must be free. This is the entire message of yoga, beyond the corrupted teachings the enemy has infested it with. Hatha, physical yoga, is to make the body more flexible and to open joints and other areas where energy is trapped due to being tight. Eat as you please, have sex as you please, indulge as you please, be free. Sexual orgasm opens the chakras. As I wrote before, many authors of meditation books out there advocate retaining the semen and such. Most are now dead and none has ever lived to any great age. There are exercises one can do with a bub, but these are not to be done continuously as these books claim. Orgasm is necessary for both physical, psychological and emotional health. Our beloved Father Satan guides us to the truth and gives us knowledge and abilities that are far beyond where those who are without are at, regardless of how dedicated these people are to their programs. As I wrote before, the enemy promotes everything that is unnatural. The anti-life sexuality is condemned and suppressed to make damn good, and sure that no one raises his or her serpent to experience any spiritual advancement. Remember this when reading or studying for yourselves from any Eastern teachings, meditation or yoga texts. Our people are advancing in unheard of short periods of time through Satan in a safe and healthy manner. As the serpent grows powerful and begins to ascend, often it retreats back into the base chakra until it rises above the solar chakra, past hang-ups, whatever they may be, and any psychological issues are brought to consciousness so they can be dealt with and eliminated. The serpent is also cleansing the soul through the astral element of fire. Satanism equals being free. Sermon 2010, November 21st. This is something I need to address here. There are so dietary restrictions in Satanism. However, and whatever you choose to eat is your own personal business. Videos and documentaries exposing what is known as industrial farming are enough to make many consider vegetarianism. For those of you who are vegetarian, if it works for you and you are happy with it, this is great and to be given credit. Years ago, after watching a documentary on industrial farming, I tried vegetarianism, and it lasted about a month. It didn't work for me, as I was into heavy weightlifting, gymnastics, martial arts, and running some 20 plus miles per week, and doing manual labor as a cook. I got sick. My point here is human beings are omnivores, designed for eating both meat and vegetables. No matter what we eat, we have to kill to eat. Lions, wolves, and other carnivores kill to eat. Every living being on the face of this earth must kill in order to eat. Plants are living organisms. The whole issue is how it is done. Industrial farming is horrific. This is not natural. It is animal torture, exploitation, and abuse in the extreme. This bleeds over into the food chain and the overall quality of the food we consume, as well as society as a whole. The majority of society is unhealthy, especially in the West. In many ways, and many are prescriptions drug dependent. In addition, many unnatural and harmful methods are used in growing and harvesting vegetables, which directly affect the health of consumers for the worst. This has been going on for a long time, decades. For those of us who eat meat, there are certain companies now that sell cage-free raised and humanly managed food animals. I have found some of these meats to be even cheaper priced at the supermarket than the main brands who are engaged in industrial farming. In the largest cities, there are even eggs available from the free-range chickens. The more the concerned public becomes aware of the vicious exploitation of food animals, the more changes for the better will be made. For those of you who choose to be vegetarians, it is important to know how to eat in order to have a healthy diet. Certain nutrients come to humans only through animal proteins, such as vitamin B12 and taurine. Dogs and cats who do not get taurine in their diet can go blind. Both are natural carnivores designed to eat meat. It is important to be knowledgeable regarding nutrition and getting a balanced diet, and if any vitamin supplements are needed, I am mainly writing the above for teens. If you choose to be a vegetarian, it is important to read up on it and to make sure you are getting all your nutrients. Plants and legumes do supply nearly all of the nutrients we need, but there are very few we need to be aware of in getting a balanced diet and in supplementing these. Satanism is with nature and natural law. Again, there are no dietary restrictions in Satanism. How and what you choose to eat is your own personal business. Satan is very strong on treating animals and the environment with respect. Satan is Lord of the earth. We Satanists are to treat the earth with respect and care. Since coming to Satan and advancing in meditation, along with the input and experiences given by other brothers and sisters in Satan, it is glaringly apparent that much of what is available in yoga in the mainstream bookstore, etc., especially Serpent Kundalini Yoga, is designed to prevent one from achieving spiritual powers and raising their serpent. These books and resources push celibacy, dietary restrictions, and many other restrictions, all of which in truth work against spiritual power and advancement. Given intense research, which I have done in reading many different books on all branches of yoga, so-called masters have taken decades and even more to raise their serpent. One book stated the average being over 20 years, and this includes living these years in a monastery ashram where the entire focus was on daily meditation and physical yoga 4 hours each day. Through Satan, there are some of you, along with High Priest Woman, who have successfully raised your serpents in under 2 years. This along with having to work a full-time job and having many other distractions. Those of you whom I know of who have done this eat meat, have an active sex life, and live life as you choose without any restrictions. I eat meat every day and have never had any problems in advancing spiritually. My issue is how these books and researchers out there zealously push veganism. No animals or meat products whatsoever. I was raised Catholic, and I remember the restrictions on meat, like during that stupid Lent and the no meat on Fridays crap. Eating meat was a sin that one had to confess in the confession box to some asshole pedophile priest. Now we all know the Christian programs were created and enforced to remove spirituality. Also, I happen to know that orgasm and an active sex life are essential to a spiritual advancement. This is the main reason the Christian churches have attacked human sexuality, mainly sexual pleasure, vehemently. Orgasm acts to open the chakras and to stimulate the serpent. Hatha physical yoga manipulates the body, mainly the spine, and so that the body can be free, so the serpent can rise without blockages, and so the other energy of the soul can circulate freely. The restrictions act to create major obstacles, whether these be psychological or physical. To multitude of psychological hang-ups the average active Christian has are enough to prevent him or her from ever advancing spiritually. Sex hang-ups and the worst are the worst, as these keep the serpent locked in the base chakra and dormant. Meditations work the mind to remove psychological hang-ups and issues, so that the serpent can rise freely. In closing, it is very important to always remember the exercises in physical hatha and serpent yoga do work, such as the breathing techniques, the stretching asanas, and so forth. Most of the so-called spiritual advice in these books and resources is trash and designed like Christianity to prevent you from advancing spiritually. Remember this. I also want to read some resources that High Priest Maxine posted. Always remember to read and read everything the satanic way, with directions, as so much have been corrupted. Satan leads us to the truth. The more you open your mind and soul, you will be able to see the truth for yourself much easier. I can only take everyone so far to advance beyond what is on the Jar of Satan website. You will need to purchase a few books listed below or search further online for the resources listed here. The goal of true Satanism is personal power. The exercises in the books and DVDs listed below drastically increase that power. Never mind the new age bullshit and hype that unfortunately comes along with some of it. Use it the satanic way. We use whatever works. The effects of the exercises in the books and DVDs are exceptionally powerful in amplifying the witch power and opening the mind, intuition, and much more. Both the books and DVDs can be obtained through Amazon.com for a lesser price. Links below are to Amazon for identifying the products. Books: Kundalini Yoga, Guidelines for Sadhana, Daily Practice by MSS Guru Charan Singh Khalsa. This book is for those who are already proficient in Hatha Yoga. These exercises therein are intended to manipulate of the spine to facilitate the session of the serpent. Once you create your own program with selected exercises with consideration to individual needs, personal time, etc. One should always begin slowly with much fewer repetitions. Patience here is the key. Most people should gradually build slowly. Inner Power: Secrets from Tibet and the Orient by Christopher S. Kilham. Copyright 1988. This book is excellent and has the extremely powerful 10 Tibetan breaths. Highly recommended. DVDs: Kundalini Yoga for Beginners and Beyond by Ravi Singh and Anna Brett. The above is necessary companion to the book Kundalini Yoga Guidelines for Sadhana This DVD is for those who are already proficient in the Hatha Yoga. The exercises therein are intense manipulations of the spine to facilitate the ascension of the serpent. These DVDs demonstrate the correct ways of performing the exercises in the book Kundalini Yoga, Guidelines for Sadhana, Daily Practice, by MSS Guru Charan Singh Khalsa. One should create their own program with selected exercises with consideration to individual needs, personal time, etc. One should always begin slowly with much fewer repetitions. Patience here is the key. Most people should gradually build slowly. I will post these links in the description. Thank you for listening, and hail Satan.